Great one, God, Amin. As Michael mentioned, the prayers today, we're celebrating the Baramon of Epiphany. Is anyone here know anything about the Baramon? What's meaning of Baramon and why we're celebrating Baramon before, or which feast we have the Baramon? Anything? Alright, the Baramon come only before Christmas and the Epiphany feast, and can come from 1 day to 3 days. If the feast coming from Monday to Friday, the Baramon be 1 day only. Why? Because the Baramon, that means preparing yourself for the feast, and you have to fast until like sunset, like Great Lent, one of the fasting they said to consider as a first grade. You fast until sunset, that means you have to fast. But if the feast coming Monday, like this year, you can't fast without food Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, so you have to fast Friday. That's what happened exactly. So the Baramon this year 3 days for Epiphany. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because the closest day to fast without food was Friday. But if the feast Sunday, we fast or only Friday and Saturday. If the feast Saturday, we fast only Friday. That's how we calculate.
It's not complete. Sorry, it's 1 day, and normally before Christmas and the Epiphany. Yeah, either the first or the there is 1 day. They call it a 1 day to prepare yourself, and there is a mass early in the morning to make you ready for that. And if the days of the Baramon come Saturday or Sunday, it's not allowed for us to fast. Yeah? Fast, I mean on Qatar. Yeah? So they add in 1 day before that, so you can fast and prepare yourself. So let it come. Like this Epiphany this year, it's coming tomorrow night. Yeah? Tomorrow night, which is Monday. So Sunday, we cannot fast. If you take the other day before that, you cannot fast. So you get Friday, and this year it's 3 days as a Baramon. But 1 day only you can fast until whatever the time under your supervision of your confession fast.
Yeah. And why we celebrate the Baramon? Because if the Christmas like this year come Wednesday, and Wednesday was supposed to be fasting, because he's the one of the, we call it like feast of Jesus Christ, that's we have to celebrate in that day like Wednesday and without fasting. That's why instead of this day, they do the Baramon. So you can calculate it from now on to know next year if the feast Monday or Tuesday, you know which day is the Baramon. And by the way, Baramon, you're not allowed to eat any fish. Any fish. That's quick, so we know what's Baramon. That's the topic I gave last time. Ezekiel was Ezekiel from Old Testament. I give it to Michael so he can make copy for you. Today we speak about one of the books of Second Canonical books. Second Canonical books, that's addition books for our Bible. Our Bible, the one we have at home, they call First Canonical books, and Second Canonical books, there's 7 separate books and 2 additions. They call it Second Canonical books.
What's the 2 editions?
Daniel and Esther. They call compilation of book of Daniel and compilation of Esther, and already we give it here before. Maybe I can get you the CD.
They call it Second Daniel?
Or compilation of Daniel or addition of Daniel. Alright? And today we talk about book of Judas. Alright? I'm not going to go too much in Second Canonical books. I just get the outline of this book and I give you the book. And if you want more introduction about Second Canonical books, in Book of Tobit, I give Michael some, and if you not have, I have it in my car. We start from Book of Judas. Book of Judas Her name Judith, that means Jewish, but
It's a female?
female names like Judah for man and Judith for woman, like Yehudi or Jewish. Alright? This book unfortunately never been read in the church. What mean never been read in the church? That mean we're not putting in our reading like Passion Week, or we put in reading in the Mass or something. Like Book of Tobit, we read all the book in week number 6 in Great Lent. We must read all the book before the Mass. But Book of Judith, unfortunately, we're not reading at all in any occasion of the church. But what we do, we give it to the deacons, we give it to Sunday school, and we already put in Sunday school program. Which language they write this book was Hebrew language. Who wrote these books? Some of the scholars, they're not sure who wrote it, and some of the scholars, they said Joachim, the high priest, he wrote this one. Which year this book's been written? Year 200 before Christ. If we want to put these books in the right order in our Bible, this book's coming after Book of Tobit and before and after Book of Nehemiah. So Judith, Tobit, Book of Nehemiah. How we can call these books canonical? What mean canonical? That means the father of the church consider this book as a canonical to be read in our church. Council of Nicene, they all agree this book canonical. And many councils, they agree this canonical, and even St. Augustine, he said, if people not believe in the second canonical books, they be excommunicate from a church. That means we consider second canonical books as a first grade like first canonical books. But why our first canonical books not in our Bible? Because our Bible printed by Protestant church, and the Protestant church, they not believe in this book. Today we talk about two parts.
In the Catholic printing, the whole Bible is including that. And also there is a new Orthodox Bible. It's written by the Greek. Yes, it's including all this Bible.
So why don't we read that instead of the book that we have, the Bible that we have?
Because the translation in our time, we get familiar with it. This is number one. Number two, this one is already being used in our, let's say, Siyam Kibir, the reading of the Cretan, the reading of the Pascha, and all the churches, the church reading in occasion, they use in this one. But because it's very expensive to print it by our church, this is the problem. We try, our church is printed the whole book in one book, instead to reprint the whole Bible.
Yeah, it's like Michael said, mostly of the another books read in the Great Lent and all the stuff, like Jesus, son of Sirach. I tell you the name of the book. Book of Tobit, Wisdom of Solomon, Jesus, son of Sirach, Book of Judith, First Maccabees, Second Maccabees, compilation of Esther, and compilation of Daniel, and Book of Baruch. 9 books. 7 separate and 2 additions. Like Michael said, it's too expensive, we print our own copy. So that's why we use the Protestant copy and we have the addition. But this one of the books, unfortunately, they're not being read at all in any occasion in the church, plus Book of Esther too. These 2 books you found mostly not in any occasion in the church.
The story of Susanna. I know which
compilation of Daniel. Susanna.
Anybody attend the Saturday, the Abu Ghalansi?
After Good Friday.
Good
Yeah, I
Friday.
know about it, I just haven't attended it.
It's fantastic. I know we all the day of Friday we are tired. But you will get a great benefit spiritually if you attend one night. And when you test it one night, you will be regularly attending Abu Ramses. I tell you, they talking in Abu Ramses about the heavenly Jerusalem. And how? By the crucifixion of our Lord Jesus Christ, we get the way to the heavenly Jerusalem.
Yeah, okay. And if you attend, like Michael said, it's a lot of reading from second canonical books in this night. So we concentrate about the book of Judith and what we learn from the book of Judith today. 2 parts, in about 20 minutes we finished. Firstly, King Nebuchadnezzar, he was very arrogant and proud. He wanted, like Hitler nowadays. How are you? Like you hear about Hitler, he wants to control all the world. Nebuchadnezzar. By the way, I give you a copy from this book. So, but this about 16 chapter. I try to conclude it in 15-20 minutes. Alright? What he wants to control all the world because he was the strongest king in that time. So he starts sending message around to another country to tell them, best for you to give us your country, we can look after you, we leave you to do your job as it is, but we can control the country. Some country agree, some didn't agree. The Jewish, one of the country, they didn't agree. So what he done, he sent one of the chief of his army, his name Alifana. It was very, very evil person. He started sending them a message and told them, give us your country peaceful. They refused. Not only refused, they started to put the army around the country to show him who is strong enough to fight. So he gets very angry. He started collecting a lot of army and he started surrounding Jerusalem. During that time he surrounded all Jerusalem, he found all the only water supply to go to Jerusalem was outside, spring from outside to deliver water inside. So what he done, he cut this water, he put some guards control this water so no water to come to the city inside. By this plan, he will, day by day, the water will cut, they have no water inside, they will die. Alright, that's what was his plan. People inside, they have only storage water for 20 days. You start water get dry, people get worried. So they start to tell the priest, the high priest, why he didn't deliver the country to this army, and at least we're not seeing our kids to be killed or die from thirst. They start to blame him. And in about chapter 8 or 7, Judas, we hear her voice first time to come to the place and to start talk. She told them, why you angry against him? Everything happened, it's with God's hand. The high priest told them, we can wait for 5 days. If no help coming from God, we deliver to the country, to the enemy. Judas started to talk to them and told them, who are you to give God time to work? Everything in our God's hand and even our life in God's hands. You can't give God time to work. Judas, her husband, he died, and she was a widow, and she was very pretty and very rich. But she have upper room, and all the year she pray and fast only for feast. She eat normal food, and she can communicate with someone. But like nun, she was living as a nun after her husband, like Hannah in the book of Luke. She told them, I'm going to pray, and I ask God wisdom, and I do a plan, but I don't want anyone to tell me what you do. Just what I need from you, give me a time and pray for me, and no one asking me what I'm going to do. She prayed, she took her maid servant, and she come down and she told them, open the gate, I'm going out. In that time, the Alifana was the chief of the army, the one, he was evil one. He will ask around what the Jews believe and why they doing this, why they not believe we can kill them. One person, he told him, these people, their God fight for them. And he started telling him his story about the Jewish and how God, he helped them to cross the Red Sea and all this story. He told them, if you believe in the God like this, you go with them and I show you we can take the country. They sent him outside, so the Jews took him and told them what happened. He started told them exactly what happened. After a little while, Judith, she come down with her maidservant and come out, and she tried to walk to go to the army base. They meet here, they told her what you want. She said, I want to see the head of the army to tell him why I'm coming. She was very pretty. So the head of the army saw her, he told her what you want. She said, I will tell you a plan to deliver these people to your hand without you killing any one of them. She said, I'm believing in my God, and I got my maidservant with me, and we have our own food. Every day I go pray and I come back. My people, they start to get very thirsty. They will start killing the animal and they drink their blood. And if they start to do this, God, he will get anger from them and he delivers them to your hand. But which day exactly, I will tell you. But it's very soon because our water finished. He told her, fair enough, at least I don't want to lose any one of my fighters. What happened after this? She every day pray, come at night, so all the army saw her, she go outside, she pray with her maidservant, they fast all day and she eat her own food. Because you know the Jews not eat anything unclean like pigs and all this stuff. Halal. What happened after? The chief of the army was celebrating. He drank in this day, he said, maybe more than any day he drank in his life. And he invited her, he said, come get her to drink with him. So when he invited her to his area to drink with him, he was drunk. So Judith started to pray to God to give her the chance to kill him. He was drunk and he can move. She was praying and she took his own sword or big knife, whatever, and she killed him. She cut his head. She put in her bag, food bag like every day, and the army used to see her going in and out. And she wrapped him in his mosquito net around the bed and she left him. She took his head in her bag and she left. Everyone saw her going out like normal, no one said anything. She knocked the door for her, city, they opened for her and she said, praise the Lord God, he delivered your enemy to our hands. What you do tomorrow, put his head in our fence, and when the lights start to come, you just run like you attacking them. They start to run in the morning to attack them. They try to wake the head of the army. They didn't hear nothing. They start knocking the door, nothing. They opened. They found him without head. They said, one Hebrew woman, destroy all the army of Nebuchadnezzar. And they started behind them and they took everything they used to own. This book have a beautiful three prayer, and all the story about her prayer. She prayed 3 times and was very, very effective and accepting prayer. As we see this picture, by the way, Judith had no picture before. When I wrote my books, we look for any picture. For her we can find. Just I ring my brother in Egypt, and
a real icon.
I have it at home.
Yeah.
Really icon. And when he done it, she got degree in PhD in Coptic art. Her name Martha, and she done a lot of his churches. We're talking to her, and we tell her what the story about, what we need, and she drawing beautiful picture and very nice. And this second print, last group for pre-servant, I haven't got any books, but when I went to Melbourne last week, he started printing this. It's supposed to be print 2002.
What is that? Okay. A normal
It's supposed to be second print done 2002, we're receiving 2009. Only 7 years delay. But it's nice book, it's Arabic and English, and have everything about the book. We talk today about the acceptance prayer. Many people, they can pray, but nothing can happen. Some people just to lift their hand and pray, God hears that way. To God to listen your prayer, you have to do 5 things. You have to do 5 things. First thing, to pray with faith. And you believe when you stand to pray, He hear you, and you trust He hearing you. So first thing must be with faith and confident. The one I talk to Him, I am sure He hear me, and I am sure He can answer me. Alright? Some groups sit down with one monk in the monastery. They told him, Father, when did you decide to go to the monastery? He told them, when I was 6 years old. They told him, 6 years old, you don't even went to the school. So what happened when you were 6 years old? So make you to decide to go monastery. When you go, he told them, in our time, in our village was a famine. It was like no food, no wheat or rice. One day, one lady, our neighbor, coming knocking the door, and she told my mother, have you got any flour? She said no. My dad, he told her, no, stop. We have only little bit of flour. He gave it to her. My mom, she wasn't happy. She told him, we have no food, and the last flour, he gave it to the lady. He told her, we have enough bread for day and tomorrow, but this lady have nothing. So next day, her bread finished. She started to tell him, look now, all the bread finished, and our flour, you gave it to the lady. And she started talk and talk. He said, my dad took us in front of the picture of Jesus and told him, God, I did what you command us. If someone asks you, you give. And I am not upset, I did the right thing, and I am sure you can look after us. And all what we have, he got the bags was full of flour. He said, empty here, God, and you see. She told him, that's all what you done, his wife? He said, that's what all we can. You have to have faith. He said, at night, someone knocking at our door. He told us, have you got anyone to help? He said, why? He got like chariot, like, Arabic car, this man chariot with donkey, and the stuck, he wants someone to help you to book.
Anybody saw it if you want it?
Some like...
okay, I make it more simple. You know Diana Wedding?
Are you on?
Yeah. Okay, it's Arabic Hamturdi with the 2 horses at front. And instead of the bread, they do like a thriller, yeah? And the 2 horses, they...
The bush, yeah.
Yeah, it's just to make it simple.
Yeah, but it was different quality. So he said, can anyone help us? Because they're stuck and, we need help. So they helped him, and it was raining, and helped him, and they went to sleep. They have no food at all at home. He said, next day we found this man coming knocking the door to my dad. He said, you remember me? He said, no. He said, I'm the man come last night to tell you, please help me. He said, it was dark and raining, I didn't see your face. He said, what we bush was a lot of flour for our master for the area, owning all the area. And when he asked me why you late, he said, because our car is stuck and these people helped me. He told him, did you give them anything? He said, no. He said, can you go give them one big sack of flour? It was 50 kilo. And he gave it to him as a gift because he helps them, because if he was late, the rain was flour, they cannot finish. So he said, I believe in that minute, when you pray with faith, God will listen. And from that day, I decide to go to consecrate my life to God. And he was 6 years old, decide to change all his life, because he see himself the faith and the confidence when he that talk to God, and God listen. So first thing, when we pray, we have to pray with confidence and faith, to be our prayer, to be considered, and God listen to our prayer. Second point, to God to accept our prayer or listen to our prayer must be from pure heart. What mean pure heart? Heart not anger from anyone. Heart not upset from anyone. Heart not have jealous from anyone or evil against anyone. Some people, one of the story, one lady, she went to the priest, she told him, I want you, give you £1. £1 is olden days, that's something big, like $100. But I want you to say, our Father who art in heaven, opposite way, so you can punish my sister-in-law. He told her, when God hear right way, we can ask him to hear opposite way. Do you understand what this means? She wants Abuna to pray with evil against her sister-in-law, and she wants to give him money. He said, I can't do this one. We only pray right way for God. So imagine one like this.
It's a cursing prayer.
Yeah.
It's a cursing prayer. So like today, to get a cursing prayer against somebody. So someone think to pray like this, and someone like he was bad with you, and tell him, God, look what he done to me. Can you fix him? I am innocent, and you know I am innocent. God, he not listen. God himself, he said, love your enemy. Love your enemy. So first point must be prayer from pure heart and confidence and faith. Pure heart, second point, confidence and faith, first point. Third point, prayer was simple. Like imagine a child talk to his dad. Different than someone at work talk to you. You love to hear your child ask you as a child, not a formal, not anything. You talk to God like we, his children. God, when he wants us to talk to him, he said, tell me our Father, because the best relationship, the kids with their parents, that's the strongest one. That's why God, he said, when you pray to me, pray and tell me our Father. So must be prayer with pure heart and simple heart. Simple heart, talk to him as your Father. One of the story happened in the monastery was during the Great Lent, and one of the monks, he got a visitor. So they coming to him, they told him, we need to eat. He said, I have 2 little pigeon, I will kill it to you and I cook it for you. So he killed the pigeon, cleaned it, and started cooking the pigeon in pot. So another monk walking, they smelled the pigeon. They went to the head of monastery and told the head of monastery, the father this, he eating in the Great Lent, and you know the law of the monastery, we're not allowed to eat any cooking in the Great Lent, and the blood that's meat. So he said, we'll go check. He went to check, he found he cooking pigeon. He told him, Father, you know we are in the Great Lent, we're fasting now. He told him, since I went to wilderness, I don't know which day fasting or not fasting. That means every day he fasts. He said, but we're not allowed to cook pigeon in the Great Lent. He said, what I can do now? He said, you can't cook it now. He said, alright. He talked to the pigeon and told the pigeon, he doesn't want us to cook the pigeon, just the fly. They found the pigeon have feather again, and they start to fly from the pot. The simple man, but his prayer more stronger than anything. So firstly, when you pray with confidence and faith. Secondly, pray from pure heart. Thirdly, pray with simple. Not to talk to God with formal English or formal Arabic or anything. God, he wants to hear us as a simple, his children. Number 4, to pray as God will. What I mean by God will. Sometimes I pray I want to interview for job, and I pray, God, please, I need this job. God, please, I need this job. I'm not praying to tell him as your will, but I pray, I tell him, I want this job. Or someone, fiancé or going to marry or whatever, he put many paper, God, this one. No. As God will. Why? Because maybe this job not good for me. Maybe another thing is coming ahead. They say like exactly a little children going with his dad and with big farm for mango. This
children, he loved the mangoes. Since he went in, he saw a big tree full of mango. He said, "That I want this mango." His dad looked. He found after like far away back to the farm, he found a bigger one and already cooked, but this mango not ready yet. So his son, he started to cry, "Dad, you not love me, I love the mango, give it to me." He didn't look to him. He left him. He started to walk and walk and walk and get him the right one. If he give him this one at this time, maybe he gets sick. But he gave him the right one on the right time. That's what God do to us. When we pray, he listens. But when he do his job, that's in God's hand, always. When you pray, God listens. His Holiness Pope Shinoda, he said, every prayer be accepted. And the prayer is not accepted, it's for God accept. What means? كل الصلاة مستجابة حتى الصلاة التي لم تستجاب فاستجابتها في عدم استجابة. Every prayer you say, God accepted. But if
I mean this one again because maybe it's a little hard, but it's very, very important to understand it. Everybody already get the full logic of that statement. Can you translate it to your sisters?
Well, he's saying that every prayer is heard by God and answered to, but not all prayers are answered to at the right time, at the moment you pray. Like in the right time, it will be answered, right?
No.
Every single prayer is accepted.
Okay.
Not accepted.
We are sons and daughters.
Yes.
And whatever we ask the Father, He will answer us. Sometimes He answers and gives it to us. Is it right? This one we will be happy with it. Okay? The other thing makes us upset, when we ask, we don't get it. But behind we don't get it, it's already answered from the Lord about our prayer. It's not for us. He already answered, not for you. You get the message there? Yeah? No.
Alright? Agree? One of the stories to explain this. You know, when you go medical university of medicine or something, you have interview. He give you question or he give you someone sick and tell you what disease he got. Alright? This person who was a Christian and his doctor or professor test him, he's a Muslim. And we have, in Egypt, some people, they close mind, they give hard time to the Christian. So he went to his mom and they told him, "Mom, I want you to pray for me. Tomorrow I'm not can have the test in front of this person. Pray for me, God send someone else better than him." Her mom, she said, "Alright, come and we'll pray." So when his mom prayed, she told them, "God, please, I want my son to have the test in front of this doctor, the Muslim one." So after she finished, he was very upset. He said, "Mom, I told you I doesn't want to have the exam in front of this person. You pray." She said, "If you have your test in front of this person and you pass your test, you give the glory to God. But if you have your test in front of someone else and he was more easy with you, you will think you done it by yourself." You understand? So that's the mother teaching.
This experience really happened here. Yeah? You remember? It happened with her. She went to the exam, those oral exam.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And in the case, she already got shocked because she saw the certain teacher, and she, after a while, she said, "No, I am already not going to pass this."
She was wearing a cross.
Yeah.
She was wearing a cross.
Yeah.
They were crossed, and it was like an interview as well, an oral exam, and it was between a man and a woman.
between two. And the first one was a man, and he was like really,
Weird.
and he looked at the cross and was like, okay, I'm not asking you questions. So I thought, oh my God.
That's what he told you.
Yeah, he asked the other one because we
Okay.
got them too. And then the other one, it was a lady and it was on a cover.
Oh my God.
So I was, oh my God. I went outside, I cried for 3 months until the results came. And it was very good. I don't know.
What subject?
It was biochemistry. And it was really, really hard. It was a hard subject and I hadn't been asked. I should say anything, I hadn't been questioned in this exam at all.
I thought subject Arabic or something.
No.
Get someone with beard and someone...
It was very, very uncommon
Yeah.
to have someone like this in the faculty of pharmacy, but that's what happened.
That's Australia nowadays. Last one, the prayer to be in order. What's mean order? Everyone have confession father and tell you what you pray in Akbay. Because what the devil do, he lets you pray by yourself. He said, if you stop your Akbay and you pray by yourself, you pray better and longer. You
What
find
was the fifth point?
fifth point, it's you have your prayer with law. What's mean law? Like with confession father, give you the amount of prayer fit everyone.
A certain spiritless exercise,
Yes.
you follow, or a pattern. Yeah.
Because if you not continue, you will come back to your confession father, tell you change it, or you give you more or less, he cannot control. But some people, like I said, they stop the Akbay and they start to pray by themselves. And after a little while, they not pray at all. So that's the quick first 5.
Why we doing that? Because sometimes we don't feel the meaning of the word and we start a lot of our mind going out, this is another thing, and we don't concentrate in the meaning of the prayer. And when you pray by yourself, you say you feel it. This is one fighting of the will. It's sometimes it's coming, try this way. And you find yourself really comfort. Yeah? But you're losing a very good source of material to use it in the prayer. After a while, you find the devil take from you all the I will say the same word, I will say the same word, I will say the same word. After a while, you get bored to say it even. So we have to be under supervision.
So I repeat with you the 5 points again. Must be prayer with confidence and faith. Number 2, prayer from pure heart. Number 3, a prayer, simple prayer. Number 4, with God will. Number 5, to be with law with your confession fast. That's a quick revision about the book of Judas. It's a nice book, mostly talking about the prayer. You have the copy. It's nice 16 chapter and all the explanation and how canonical in our church, everything written here. It's a very nice assignment was written about book of Judas. Everyone, if you got the copy before, or if not, feel free to take one.
Okay, one, we already got one, we see one for the other. This one?
The calendar. It's for you. بخدها الامتحان next time بقى. Alright, inshallah next time when I come, I give you the CD about book of Judas, what we've done it today. Any question before we go? One thing, give me 1 minute, I tell you, there's some objection here, it's very important, I want you to read. This objection about why the Protestant church not believe in this book to put in the Bible. Like one of them, and you can agree or not agree, and we see our church how they answer. One of them, they said, how you call this lady saint if she killing someone and cut his neck like this? You know? It makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did she know that God wanted her to kill him?
Okay, if I answer straight away, without even I know the church and what the situation if you compare Goliath and David? What happened? One he is coming to attack these innocent people and she trying to defend. The same thing in the David, he trying to defend and against the whole Goliath words against the Israelites. It's the same situation. I don't know what
yeah, and I get you from Bible the same story. I'm making in some Bible Book of Judge, chapter 4, verse 18 to 24. It's a 6th verse. This lady, her name Yael or Jael. Have a look. Book of Judges 4, 18 to 24. She done exactly the same. When we're talking Old Testament, that's the way the people think. That's the way, like Michael said, like David and Goliath, or this story, Book of Judge.
After the tempting,
yes.
The after.
This
is their kill.
I tell you something. Did they kill or they coming to kill them? If you defeat yourself, that's what the law, eye by eye or teeth for teeth. If they coming to defeat themselves, alright. But if they come to kill the innocent people, that's a different story. They live in the country, another one coming to occupy and kill them. And look in Book of Judges as it's after the 10th commandment too. Chapter 4, verse 18 to 24. And you found all the answer here in this book.
Yes, yes, and all churches.
And Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, "Turn aside, my Lord, turn aside to me, do not fear." And when he had turned aside with her into the tent, she covered him with a blanket. Then he said to her, "Please give me a little water to drink, for I am thirsty." So she opened a jug of milk, gave him a drink, and covered him. And he said to her, Stand at the door of the tent, and if any man comes and inquires of you and says, "Is there any man here?" you shall say no. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a tent peg and took a hammer in her hand and went softly to him and drove the peg into his temple. And it went down into the ground, for he was fast asleep and weary. So he died. And then as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came out to meet him and said to him, "Come, I will show you the man whom you seek." And when he went into her tent, there lay Sisera dead with a peg in his temple.
Alright, that's exactly. Sisera was the king too, and he tried to kill the Israelites. Another chapter 9 here about the widow, was assignment about the widow in the Bible. He found we collect all the widow, and even son Jerome, he talked nice about them. I took this from Nicene and post-Nicene. It's a nice book, read. If you have any question, my phone number inside, I'm Michael in the mic. Any question? Thank you very much. Glory be to God forever and ever. Ameen.
There was one question. This one is a part of the Bible.
Yeah, it is, but like I'm saying,
No.
part of the Bible.
Yeah.